Hey, Happy New Year. This is Lady Bishop Kathy Kiuna, and I'm so delighted that you're here today. I want to wish you a very, very amazing 2025. It is our year of building from the place of rest. The Bible says, unless the Lord builds a house, those who build in vain. And so you need to allow God. That's what it means, building from the place of rest. It means allowing the Holy Spirit to take over. Like he's using your hands, he's using your mind, he's using your heart, he's using you to direct your path. When you do that, you're going to build easily. I'm talking about not just houses, okay? Those included, eh? I'm talking about building your marriage, building your relationships, building your company, building your values, you know, whatever it is that you need to build this year. Like inculcate a habit of reading. I've told people over and over again, if you want to be a leader, you have to be a reader. If you don't read, you can't lead. And so purpose that this year, in JCC, in Jubilee Christian Church, our church where I pastor, I want you to understand that we are going to read at least a book a month. So in the year, we're going to have finished 12 books, okay? And so this year, purpose, you're going to do something different. Don't do the same things and expect different results. So purpose that you're going to do something different. Now, this is woman, you know we bring amazing stories. And you know it is our stories that transform lives. Today, we have an amazing story, and I know it's going to bless you. It's going to bless you, and it's going to change your life forever. I have with me a guest, and we're going to invite somebody else in a little while. Her name is Susan Kibe Atsu. She's going to tell you that name, I'm telling you. She's going to come and tell us that name. Eh? Atsulu. Atsulu, I got it. Atsulu, yes, Atsulu. Atsulu, am I? Come on, clap for me, somebody. And so you're welcome, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me so much. Thank you, ma'am.
It's wonderful to have you. And, you know, here we are in the new year.
Oh, yes.
Tell us how your new year has begun.
Wow. My new year has begun on a serious high.
Yeah.
Even for being here, it's a serious high.
It's
just 7th of January.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So the year has started very well. And I'm looking forward to greater things.
Yeah.
2024 was warm up. I felt like we were building muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things happened. We were building muscle. Now we can only soar.
Now we can only soar.
Oh, yes.
We can only fly.
We can only fly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us, who is Susan? Tell us where you're coming from. And you know, let's hear who Susan is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Susan is a young girl that God has really shown mercy. Amen. I normally say, when people talk about beauty for ashes, this right here is beauty for ashes. And yes, the beauty is there. We can see the beauty. Thank God.
So you're coming from a mighty long way.
A mighty long way.
And as a young lady, and perhaps that's where we're going to start, you went through a very gruesome situation as a young lady. Tell us, where were you coming from, where were you going, and what's that gruesome situation?
What the gruesome situation was. So, first of all, I grew up in a very loving family. You know this, I'm an only girl in my family. Wow. I'm the last born. So you can imagine all the good things.
With how many boys?
3.
So did they spoil you?
They spoiled me.
Wow.
To beat. Actually, me, I think I was not beaten. By the time I was born, my parents were already tired.
They were tired
of beating the boys.
They had worked on the boys.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so
and you know the boys can be something. They dismantle things. They want, so they
tell me about it.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in a very loving family, Christian home, born and brought up in the Catholic faith.
Right.
So I was raised with values and all the teachings that I could get.
Right.
But right from birth, I had an issue. First of all, with my legs, I used to wear special shoes. When I tell you beauty for ashes, there was a file at Kenya Association of Physical, it's called that Association of Physically Disabled of Kenya.
Right.
There was a file with my name on it. I used to have special shoes that would be bought, then they are put metal,
inside.
Metal plates, yes. like to straighten my legs. Right from an early age, it's like the enemy had purpose I would not walk.
Right.
But see God. That's where the beauty is coming in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you had to put things to straighten them?
Yes.
For how long?
Maybe like 3-4 years, because by the time my nursery school I still had, I remember.
Okay.
But by the time I was going to class 1, class 2 now, I was wearing normal shoes.
Right.
So they had been straightened.
Tell us how that affected you. Like,
it felt different. Yeah, I felt different. I was not like other children.
Did the children tease you?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Those are many years ago. But I remember you couldn't fight me. It's like I had a weapon on my leg.
So you knew how to take care of yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And my brothers had also told me to stand up for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up very well, go through primary school. I grew up in Nyeri, born and brought up, raised, schooled in Nyeri.
Okay.
I came to Nairobi when I was joining campus. Yeah.
Wow.
So all this time, my parents are taking care of me and all that. So that leg issue was my first issue with identity, because I'm feeling different. So I go through school, performed well, at that time.
Yeah.
We are here, so it really doesn't matter.
So, we made it.
So
we made it this far.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so went through high school, did very well, went to campus. I was at JKUAT, and I pursued a bachelor's of the IT, degree in IT. Don't ask me what it is today, we will catch up.
Okay.
Yeah, so after IT, my first job to work was in an IT company.
Okay.
Which was in Upper Hill. By this time, I'm starting life as a young girl, and I've just come to Nairobi, so I was living in Waiyaki Way, some place called Kino. And one day when I was going to work in the morning, because we used to go very early, we had 2 shifts. I was in the 6 a.m. shift. Yeah. That means I have to leave Kino at what time? 5.
Very
this is Nairobi,
early.
yes.
Yeah.
So leave at 5, meet with my friends in town around 5:30, then we go together.
Wow, that's early. That's early.
Yes, how we started life.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're a young girl at this time.
Yes. I was only 23 by then.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I had worked for like 4 or 5 months, one morning when I was going to work, I was assaulted. That early morning. And I'm this kind of people who, even if I saw a snake here, I don't scream, I freeze.
You coil.
Yes.
Also, you're the people who get like paralyzed.
Before I scream, yes. So I will not scream. So of course I was this choked, I passed out. And I don't know what happened. But I remember before the incident, I saw 3 people. So when
were you in the city at that time?
Yes.
You
I was going, no, I had not arrived. I had just left home now, walking to the bus stop.
Okay.
So probably maybe there are people who had
noticed.
seen there's like a girl that passes here every morning, because I'd used that route for months.
So they had like trailed.
Yes,
maybe.
and the timing as well. Yeah, so I was assaulted, and having been brought up in church and good girl morals, so I had really kept myself, and I was good girl.
Virgin?
Through campus, oh yes. Through campus, I had kept myself nicely. I was a good girl. So you can imagine where that threw me off. I thought, you know what?
So like they broke virginity?
Yes. My virginity was broken through rape.
So,
yes.
What?
Yeah, and it totally threw me off balance. So of course I went through counseling, treatment. I thank God for Nairobi Women's.
Hold on, you're going too fast. Hey.
Yeah.
By the 3 of them?
Yes.
Are you screaming or you're just still coiled?
You see,
at that time?
But I think I remember the first and the second. Then I passed out because I had been choked. This one, I don't know, they call it Ngeta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I passed out. So when I woke up, I was just lying on the ground, and I didn't know at some point what had happened. Then I remembered. So I realized I'm on the ground. It's a bit. There was still no much light. It was not headed to 6 by this time.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm on the ground. It's early in the morning. So I woke up. Now dusted myself. I don't know where to go. So I just walked as I needed to leave that place. So when I walked, the first place I got into was a pub. It was open at that time in the morning. So I told them, I need help. I have been raped.
Yeah.
They asked me, why didn't you scream? Wrong question.
Can you imagine? Tell us.
Yeah.
Wrong question. You don't ask
How do you ask me why I didn't scream? It's not like I was not ready. I was not prepared. But Right there was a young man who had a taxi, who was my first angel. He's the one who carried me in my mess, took me to the police station.
Yeah.
Where I recorded a statement.
Right.
And then they told me...
Can you imagine, Ati, why didn't you scream?
Can you imagine?
You just want to slap someone. Like,
yes.
Like you think I wanted this? Like, really?
Oh, I was ready, I was waiting,
yeah,
so
like,
I knew it was coming.
When they come like this, I will scream like this. You know? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So the angel now took you?
Yeah, he took me to the police station, recorded a statement, then asked me if I was fine. Then by this time, I also don't know, should I also trust you? I also feel like I cannot trust anybody, even you.
Of course.
In your good nature.
Of course.
I told him I was fine. So I recorded the statement at the police station. He left me there. My place was not near from the police station.
Yeah.
So when I did the statement, they told me to go to hospital. So that's when I went to Nairobi Women's. In Nairobi Women's, a second file was opened with my name on it. Gender Violence Recovery. I still remember that GVRC. It was a pink file.
Right.
And my name, Susan Kibe, just popped into my face.
Right.
And then you have to narrate the story from the receptionist to the doctor, to the nurse, to the... Yani that day, I was wondering...
They are telling you, repeat again.
Yes, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah, tell
then
us.
Then another one comes in and says, repeat.
What happened? Yeah.
So it's like a movie.
It's like
to
a
you,
movie.
it's like...
And I'm thinking, these people, I felt like people should just let me be.
Right.
I have been violated. My innocence has been stolen from me. Just let me be. You know,
I'm already in so much pain. I'm traumatized.
I'm traumatized.
How do you now ask me even to answer? I don't even know what I'm saying.
What exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't even have the words. But God had also placed another angel in Nairobi Women's. The lady who counseled me that day.
Yeah.
Was this angel. I have never forgotten the words she told me. She asked me, how old are you? I told her I was 23.
Yeah.
And she said, if you only could count the 70 years they mentioned in the Bible, 70, you have 47 years ahead. And today you'll make a decision on how the rest 47 days would be. She told me, when I look at you, I see a beautiful lady. So when you leave this place, men will still hit on you. Because it's not written here, whatever happened to you. And so she gave me a sense of
confidence.
Like
purpose?
Purpose. I felt all was not lost, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt all was not lost.
Yeah.
And I felt built up. I felt validated somehow. Yeah. And so I began my healing journey from there.
Did you hate the men? Did you want them caught up with and dealt with? Did you want to imprison them? What did you feel about those ones who did that?
So angry. I was angry. I was bitter. I felt like they should just die. And let me be very honest with you.
Yes.
I think I came to admit the need forgiveness in my adult, just recently. Even after I've gotten born again and all that.
Like you've moved on in life.
I moved on.
You're like, these
One
guys.
day I'm seated in a sermon and somebody says people should be, even those ones, they should be forgiven. They are children of God. It took me that long. It took me more than 15 years.
Don't worry. When Jesus told the disciples about forgiving 70 times 7, they said, increase our faith. Because they couldn't imagine. You know, oh my goodness. So you are like, how? How can I forgive those ones?
Yeah, it's not even possible. They don't deserve to be forgiven. That's what I felt.
So that nurse or doctor encouraged you.
Yeah.
And then after that you left and you started building.
No,
Did you tell your parents?
What happened immediately? Because now when they assaulted me, they also took my phones, whatever I had.
Oh.
So the only number I had in mind,
this
time I had like a boyfriend.
Hey.
So I called my boyfriend. I told him I lost my phone. I was mugged in the morning. I didn't say many things.
You did not tell him many things?
No.
Hey.
How was I going to tell him to do what?
So you didn't tell him?
No, at that time I didn't tell him. He came to learn later.
Later in life or later in the day?
Later in the day. After I have left hospital, now I'm home, I'm settled.
Yeah.
Because also something, when my colleagues came to see me later in the day, I realized, I think I was also still in shock and denial.
Yeah.
Because even making fun, I was saying, those two young, first of all, I was making fun of the medication. It's written GOK. I'm like, gosh, they've given me government of, I didn't even know those were ARVs then. I was that innocent. I didn't know.
You are calling them government of Kenya?
The government of Kenya, and you were making fun of them, making fun of those people that were just young boys. So I was still in shock and denial. It had not really hit me. Because everything
the
happened so
reality
fast.
had not sunk.
Yeah, everything happened so fast. Yeah, and so then that is when now we informed my mom now when I got home.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she came the following day. Now from Nyeri she traveled, she came to see me, and of course, when she opened the door, I think
You
we
lost
just
it.
broke down there. I think now that's when I started feeling, by the way, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And then you see in hospital, they'll give you the first aid,
Yeah.
but nobody really goes in
Yeah.
to find out what happened to you and how to bring it out.
Yeah.
Because I went through the 6 months counseling, I was okay, all the tests done, I was clean, didn't
Yeah.
get any disease, I was okay, I was
Thank
good.
God for that.
Yeah,
thank God for that.
Where?
Thank God for that. I know of somebody who was actually raped in front of her husband and got HIV.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so pathetic that those kind of things have to happen to people.
Yeah.
The devil is such a liar.
The devil
and
is
the
a
father
liar.
of lies. Eh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so now I continued with treatment. My mom
Yeah.
came, she took me to Kikuyu. I had, I think, injured my eye, took me to Kikuyu, I was checked, then stayed with me for a few days. And then now she couldn't leave me there.
Yeah.
She took me to an auntie's place to start a new life.
Right.
With my
In
medication.
a
and all
different
that.
environment.
Yes.
And of course, you could did you ever walk there again?
I don't remember those memories.
Huh?
I don't. What I remember is after I saw my mom
Yeah.
and we started the journey, the next season of my life was now in the other side of town. I was
So
moved
did
to
you
Nairobi
block
West.
it?
I think I blocked it. I didn't want to think about it. And I realized even years later, if I use Waiyaki Way, now I'm okay, but if I use Waiyaki Way, I would think this place. Something happened to me, this place. Yeah. Like 5,
The
10 years after
memories
that.
would come
yes.
flooding.
Yeah, and I would really hate that place. I'm like, that place is full of funny things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you now, like to be whole?
Ooh, before I became whole, I went
Down.
because I think now when I sat and it hit me what had happened, now this naive, innocent young girl went to the club. It became a part of me. I needed to numb this pain. I cannot express to people what I'm going through.
Yes.
But when I'm in the club, I'm dancing, I feel good. Drinking,
Yeah.
I feel good.
Did your boyfriend stay with you?
Yes.
He did?
He did, imagine.
Oh.
He did, even if we broke up later.
Okay.
I can't remember if it is this party life that threw him off, but yeah. He stayed with me, walked with me that journey, that time.
So tell us, because it's very, very sad, and we're talking to people who are watching us today, that many times when you're traumatized and you go through a very harsh situation in life, many times you jump into a habit. And that habit, you become completely addicted to it. And so you form a lifestyle that actually can lead you to a very bad place, very dark place. And that is why it's so important to hear stories like this and see, you know, like the winning side, so that if you're stuck, you know that you're coming out. And you know that you don't need to get stuck forever. Because people get into habits.
Yeah.
People who go through rapes and all that, they go into promiscuity.
Yes.
They start now sleeping with anything and anyone, like it's punishing themselves for what they went through and stuff like that. So you went into the habit of drinking.
I went to the habit of
and
drinking
disco.
and partying, and I felt like I was validating myself doing that. Yeah, and I think from that, even when I got into, I think, the next relationship, I was this carefree girl. After all, I'm not even a virgin anymore, so
You don't care.
Yeah, I really don't care.
So,
And I felt like every time someone would tell me how beautiful I am, how it didn't matter. Yeah.
you thought they just wanted something.
Yes. I felt like you might be the next person. It took time for me to trust people, by the way, actually. It really took a lot of time.
And is that where now the identity crisis became worse?
Yes, it became worse, and I think it's like I kept building because I had not gotten to the root cause to solve it. So I kept building like piles upon piles.
Like confirming.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, I should be like this.
Yeah.
You know, just confirming with every detail.
Yes.
That kept happening.
Yeah. Because you see, like now when I started going to the club, I'm partying. Oh, now I'm this carefree girl. Meanwhile, God is in his corner, is just watching me and saying, well,
yeah, keep partying. I'm seeing. I'm seeing you. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 25, around 25 thereabouts, I conceived. I got pregnant.
In the partying season.
Oh yes.
Oh.
I think God had to pause.
Yeah.
Umeenda sana. Sasa.
Let me stop you.
Yes.
And
God
the only way to stop you
is because now you are like, now you are grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was another identity crisis. Because it was, of course, my boyfriend was not ready to take responsibility. Then it's like, yeah. We
were just enjoying.
I know.
Yeah, what is this now? Bringing serious matters
so
to
now,
enjoyment.
Yeah. And so considering my background,
yeah.
I didn't know anything else than to raise my child. Yeah, I said, now, the way things have gone, it's okay, let's move.
Yeah.
So now I'm another identity crisis. I'm a single mom. And it's those years where single mother, somebody would hear single mother. Nowadays it's better.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Kwanza sigo mother, sigo.
What is wrong with your values?
Lord have mercy.
Your morals. What is wrong with you?
Some people would even say that that's why you are raped.
Yeah, you must have been living a careless life, by the way. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the stigma was real.
It was real.
It was so real, right. But I took, I have a very amazing family. By the way, my family has coped with all my
shenanigans.
Drama, all those shenanigans. They have loved me through it all.
Yeah.
And so I remember my mom just told me, so he asked me, so who is responsible?
Yeah.
What are there? And my mom, I don't know whether there are plans. He didn't tell me anything. So she's like, it's fine. You have taken care of yourself until this time.
Yeah.
No, allow us to take care of you. So they embraced me. Oh yes. Wow. And I'm coming from a staunch Catholic family. Then child out of wedlock. Hey.
In an impossible mission.
Wait, and then I'm the last born.
Yes.
This was the first
and the only girl.
Yeah, and this was the first grandchild. Where?
From last to first.
The last shall be the first. Yeah, so my family supported me through that journey.
Right.
So as much as I was still asking myself questions, I felt now this guy has ruined my life. Yeah, my share came in. He has left me here.
Of course.
You know, now it's me,
and
9
his life
months.
has continued.
His life continues. So now I'm here, settled into now I'm nursing. But my pregnancy very healthy and all that. Then baby comes. I'm nursing my baby for a year like that. Now, I'm still fighting this thing of being a single mom because I have been raised by mom and dad.
Right.
I know mom and dad.
Yeah.
Even today, to the glory of God, they're still alive taking care of us, mom and dad. So I didn't know how am I doing it alone?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so but anyway, I continued with my journey. Now I'm a single mom. And I had to really work hard because now I'm the one, now I have a house help. I am paying rent, buying diapers.
Yeah.
Hey,
and the club life? Are you still sustaining it?
No, by that time
so
it
you stopped it completely?
I paused.
Oh,
because of pregnancy.
Okay.
Yes. You see, no, I cannot take alcohol.
Yes.
And then I'm breastfeeding for like a year. But as soon as a year was done, I was back.
To the club?
I'm to the club.
The child, you said, Mom, the way you have been a blessing, continue.
My goodness. I was staying with my child. Yeah. But I think God, when I tell you I'm a testimony of a girl that God has shown mercy, even in that time when I was finding myself, God gave me an amazing help who came to us when she was very green. She did not know blue from black. I trained her everything.
Your house help?
Yes. But she took care of my son. Like the first 4 years, I was all over trying to find myself. So I would leave, I'm working, I'll come back late. Maybe I'll leave early in the morning.
Yeah.
Life continues.
Right.
But I felt I didn't have that connection because I'm still trying to answer some questions and, you know, So clubbing continued, partying continued, even as a single mom.
Yeah.
And then continued with life. But in this gap, I'm still feeling like I'm not complete. So I really wanted to get married. I felt like I wanted a complete family setup.
Right.
As they look at it,
Yes.
complete mother,
Right.
father. Yeah.
Mother, father, child.
Yes.
Yeah.
So without that, I felt I really needed to get married. And so, hey, it is they say by hook or crook, I wanted to get married.
Hey.
And you know, sometimes you pray and answer yourself.
Of course.
You hear like,
when you
is
see
God.
someone nice, you say, God, thank
Hi,
you.
God has answered.
You are thanking him for something he has not answered.
I tell you. And that happened to me in 5 years. When my son was 4 turning 5, I met an amazing young man. And by this time, I'm in the club, partying left, right, and center. But the guy was born again. Hi. So I'm thinking, even God in his mercies, and he has just blessed me with a fine man, born again, after where I have been. So I didn't know what was his assignment. I came to know later. He was supposed to pull me from this life and put me on course. Me, I saw a husband.
With God.
Yes.
Oh, you saw a husband.
I saw a husband. Hi. I saw a husband and I settled. I'm not accountable to anybody.
You bought your dress in the mind and you knew this is the man.
This is it.
Hey.
We are going.
Yeah.
So we moved in together. Mistake number 1 that today I tell young girls. Ooh, never. Do not even try. Don't attempt.
Marry him in your head.
Yes. And not every person you see is your husband. And especially that time when you're waiting on God. You can answer yourself very many times.
And really tick.
Yes.
Like, yeah, he's tall.
By the way, yes.
He's
born again. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Not everybody in church. I normally make fun with the single moms I work with. I tell them.
Yeah.
Not every tongue-speaking brother is your husband. And you know some come with another tongues, ma'am. Not every lion who is roaring is from the tribe of Judah.
Thank you. I like that. I love that. But that is so true and so beautiful when you say that not every man is your husband.
Oh, yes.
That you need to be very careful. And sometimes they come looking the part.
Yes.
Looking like they're actually the ones.
Yes.
Like an answer to your prayer.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can tick every box.
Yes.
But then you need to listen to the Holy Spirit. Because that could be you wanting so much to get married that you forget to really ask God the direction.
Yeah, and so
mistake.
God in his mercies was just watching me. I think he knew it wouldn't kill me.
Yeah.
He knew
you would survive.
He knew I would survive and help others tomorrow.
So how long did that last?
I think 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah.
But in these 3 years, because you see by this time I'm still not born again, I was in the club and all that.
Yeah.
My mistake, we moved in together, and of course I conceived. There is no much chemistry beyond that.
Obvious.
I conceived.
Yeah.
And you see now, you can be forgiven for 1 baby.
Yes.
1 we can see it was a mistake.
Yes.
2,
my friend. Hey. Ukona jokes.
So no, I think even God in his mercy, so no, this one, no, she's not learning.
Yeah.
So that's, I call it, in my story and my book, I call it a counterfeit marriage, because it was counterfeit.
Yeah.
It was not legal, no parents, nothing, no blessing, nothing.
Just moved in. You just moved in.
So, but God blessed me with a beautiful daughter in it, who I see as my testimony of grace.
Wow.
Actually, when I look at her, I say, no, that is the real beauty for her. After all the mess I've been through, God still had mercy.
And gave you a beautiful
with
girl.
Her. Yes. And so in those 3 years, I saw things I have never seen. It was a mess. I think it was just this lovey-dovey the first days and smiling. After that,
the real lion came out. And not of the tribe of Judah, of another tribe.
I saw emotional abuse in its real element. I lost myself in it, totally. I didn't know anything about, I thought abuse is when you're being beaten. I didn't know somebody can utter words that will bring you down. And you see people, there's no abuse that is agreeable.
Yes.
But you see, you can nurse a black eye and tomorrow you are okay.
Yes.
Emotional abuse drains you and kills it squeezes life out of you. Yeah. So and I lost an inside
job. So even when you try to explain to somebody, they don't see it.
No.
Because people need to see, like you're saying, a black eye, broken arm.
They're wondering what is
something.
Wrong. So you can't explain it.
Yeah.
But I lost myself in it so much. And then you see now I'm feeling I can't speak.
Yeah.
Because naenda wapi na watoto wawili in Nairobi from different fathers. Where am I even going?
So you accommodated it.
Yes. I accommodated
because even your parents, what do you tell them? They'll even think, hey, this our child now is joking a lot.
Yes.
So you just stuck.
Yeah, I stuck for 3 years. But what he told me, he had been married before but separated.
Yeah.
So see me in my naive, worldly mind, I knew separated, yes.
Yeah.
So Miss Jafkuza mtu kwake. So we are good. There's nobody I kicked out. That is how we moved in. But now when I was in it, I think the pressure has a way of revealing you and revealing.
You know, it's through pressure that you get the diamonds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is also how I gave my life to Christ. In the midst of the mess, I just felt good. I know I have wanted to get married, but this is not it. And then I did not know how the Holy Spirit speaks, but I remember I heard that you have really wanted to settle yourself, to settle in marriage, but you've settled yourself.
It's not me.
It's not me. So I had to make a very bold decision.
Yeah.
To now stand up, pick up my children, and say, no, this is us. We are facing the world.
Yeah.
But I was totally messed up. And how I knew I had lost it is there's a time I prepared to go to work one morning, and I wore different color of shoes.
Okay.
Like where you have the same
What do you
heel.
mean? Like one is this
Black,
color, the other one
black and brown, yes. The same heel, but different color. And I didn't care about myself. I was losing it. And I didn't know until when I reached the office, I crossed my legs and I'm like, oops. So I waited for the meeting to end and then I went home. So now I started like calling myself back and I'm like,
different color shoes, that's deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you realized you were going through something that you were, an emotional turmoil that you were probably trying to cover up.
Trying to cover up. And also like outside I had a very active and successful life. People would say me, actually we looked good together. People say we look very good together. The devil is a liar.
They had no clue. They had no clue. Behind closed doors. Would he abuse you? Would he call you names? Put you down?
Put me down in words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make you feel like you're worthless. Then see, by this time, some of us, when we go through stress, we eat. Me, I'm a stress eater.
So you came to the right person. So I even said it yesterday or the day before on social media.
Yeah, I saw it on
I said, comfort eater. From when my husband went to be with the Lord, come and see bread. Put it here, bring them in all colors. Do you understand?
Yeah. So you can
but God is helping me.
You can imagine, because of this depression and all that, I put on weight. I just look funny, and he would just like rub it in complete. I remember one time when my bro told me, "Hey, this
weight is not normal."
Yeah. Even if probably Machine and poor, slow down. They thought I was making money. Now I'm
That's
doing
why you were overeating.
They didn't know it was trouble.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. So it was more of words, words, and also I was separated from my friends, my company. It's not like I want you to be here so that nobody can tell you this is wrong, because those people kind of alienate you, even from family. Yeah. Like my mom would, you saw the instincts of a mother. My mom would come visit, then he would disappear. He would say he's working late. Yeah.
So he's not was he a narcissist then? Because that's narcissistic behaviors.
Yeah. So he's not meeting my parents, my friends. I cannot be anywhere. So I'm just there, like I've resigned to fate. But now that act that morning, made me realize, by the way, Susan, you're losing yourself.
When you saw your shoes?
Yes. And I had to make a very bold decision at that point. And I remember that voice I had. And then also, one time in prayer, God told me that, the Holy Spirit told me that if this man had a child in their first marriage, and they had a daughter, who he was supporting even when we were here. By the way, I even paid fees for that. Father, Lord. These mistakes of validating where we are at, I paid fees. I did started a business.
For him.
For the ex-wife. So now I want to make him to be at peace. The mistakes we make in life.
So you are doing a business for his wife. You are starting a business for his ex-wife.
And she even ran it down. Imagine a chemist we put, and she ran it down. And God was just trying to show me everything. Wake up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So one time I had, I've started going to church, I'm praying, and I heard that if that woman ever cries, I will be in trouble. So by this time I am born again. By this time I understand covenant. So I knew they could be separated, but there was covenant.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, I will be in trouble.
Right.
And I'm raising a daughter, so I had to raise her well, and I had to cut.
So don't sow seeds that your daughter will harvest.
Yeah. So I had to make decisions even for my daughter. I need not to do things right for her.
Yeah.
Like this thing, and I have blundered. Susan, you have blundered. You have fallen flat. But it ends with me.
Right.
Cross the line, it ends with me.
Yeah.
And so I made a decision, you know what? It's me and my children.
Yeah.
And so I just told him one time, I think we should part ways. And he did not argue. We had an amicable separation. Because even him, remember when he came in, he was born again. His one was.
Yeah.
But now when we came, it's like, now he took my life, me, I took his.
Okay.
We crisscrossed. So even him, he realized he had also missed his purpose. Yes.
Yeah.
He has missed his path of purpose. And so he agreed, and it was an amicable separation. And so now I started my journey of healing, finding myself.
How did you do that?
From that time, I knew I had already blundered.
Yeah.
So I sought help. And I would talk to friends. And I got into programs.
For counseling?
Counseling.
Like therapy?
Therapy, emotional wellness, things I hear. There's something, personal development.
Right.
So learning, why did I do this? What was I lacking? What void was I trying to fill? Yeah. And I realized I had so much empty space.
With that identity crisis.
Yes.
So and that is why women, you need to find yourself.
Oh, yes.
Because if you don't find yourself, and especially in God, you're going to find yourself in clubs. Yes. You're going to find yourself in men. You're going to find yourself in money that is should never be, you know, your...
Illicit money.
Illicit money. Yeah, illicit relationship.
Yes.
Like, you're going to find yourself in so many other things because you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So you're listening to what men are telling you. You're so pretty. You're like, you even have a smile for that, you know. But you don't know that it's the enemy trying to use you, manipulate you into a corner so that you find yourself through men. Unless a man tells you you're good looking, you don't feel it. But when they come and tell you how pretty you are, how you have nice legs and nice, then that's when you feel validated. But you don't know that it's an identity crisis. That's you have no clue who you are. True. If you know who you are, by the time a man is coming, you already knew. He's just confirming what you already know. So listen, ladies, wherever you are, please find yourself in God. Because if you find yourself in God, you're going to settle well.
Yeah, and I thank God for those lessons. Because like what you're saying is exactly what now I purpose to do.
Right.
Like for my daughter, my youngest daughter now, she turned 11. But I make sure she knows she's beautiful.
Oh, good.
Oh, I tell her, you're beautiful. You're, you know, I love your shape. I love, you are looking good. I love that hairstyle. So by the time she'll hear it, it will not be news. Because now me, I don't blame my parents. They give us the best. But those times, those things were not there. Affirmation from where? How would my daughter start, my dad start telling me I'm beautiful?
You're beautiful.
I would even wonder what he's saying.
You'll be very concerned.
Oh, yes. So I thank God for the lesson. So I took personal development classes, programs that would help me realize who I am and who God sees me as. So I knew right then, you don't need to tell me, I know I'm beautiful. I know I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
So
and God has
yourself.
A purpose. Yes, God has
yourself.
A purpose in me. That helped me. Even in this time I'm raising my children. Because you see, one of the traps that most times single moms fall into is feeling like somebody is coming to rescue you. Just because you already have a child. But if you know who you are, you will give these children the best, 100%, you know, and God will find you as you move. But if you resign to fate and wait for somebody to come and rescue, you keep falling into the same trap over and over again. So I thank God for the lessons I picked through the personal development journey. You know, healing. I found emotional healing. I realized my emotions were damaged.
So you found emotional healing?
Oh, yes.
From all those...
From the programs I took.
Wow.
And that made me now a whole person. So by the time now I'm even raising my children,
you're
I was
raising them as a secure whole person, loving God. So you are going to church and you are taking them to church.
Taking them to church, and also teaching them the ways of God. Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me, how did you get to writing this book, Gracefully Broken? Gracefully Broken. How did you now get to writing this book?
This book came from a point of healing. Because I could not give anything before.
Yeah.
And I realized my breaking did not finish me. And there are people, Mom, who've gone through rape who are never able to stand again.
They are never able to rise up.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are
so
women.
Gracefully Broken, I just want to say this one more time. Gracefully Broken, where can they find this book?
It's at Nuria Bookstore.
Nuria Bookstore,
Yeah, and it will be on Amazon by the end of this month.
It will be on Amazon by the end of January. This is beautiful.
Yes. Yes, it was from a point of healing.
Yeah.
And just realizing that not everybody who has been through the journey I've been through has made it.
Yeah.
Not every woman who goes through emotional abuse is able to come out. Some sink into depression and they lose themselves completely.
And it's impossible.
Yeah. The fact that God snatched me from the jaws of depression, I can only share my testimony to even encourage somebody else, to tell them that is not the end.
Yeah.
Rape is unfortunate, but it is not the end. It's happening even today. It's happening, unfortunately.
They say, statistics say that every 2 minutes, I think, I don't want to say 2 seconds, but every 2 minutes, somebody's being raped somewhere. Every 2 minutes.
Yes.
Those people need to be dealt with. They really need to be dealt with, because the security of human beings is the best gift a nation can give. You know, wherever it is. You know, because man, that is so, it's staggering. Every 2 minutes somebody is being raped somewhere. It's staggering, and it's very, very sad. And it starts even with kids going to school, little girls, and now boys.
No, there's even relatives.
And boys. And boys. No, relatives have been the worst over from time immemorial. Yeah, because most times it's just around the home. It's never, most times it's never out there. You find that it's an uncle and even a father now. It's very, very sad. Very sad. But it's something that really needs to be worked on. And don't keep it as a family secret.
That's it.
That's the problem, because a lot of people keep it as a family secret. So you are raped by an uncle and everybody tells you, shh, you can't tell anyone.
Protect the family name.
Yeah. Some girls have reported that the fathers did that to them, and the mothers are like, you're mad. Listen, you cannot say that. You can't tell anybody that. So now that's another family secret that's so deep, and it messes up. Now those are the ones that are almost impossible to heal. Because you know you're dying with something that you need to speak about, but you're told no, it's a taboo. And so it's something that especially the African culture needs to come out of, where you know that any secret to the devil is what really messes you up, because it destroys you from the inside. And there's nothing worse than that. And for you to get your healing, you need to bring it up and be able to get a healing. When you started talking and going for counseling and therapy, and you got healed.
I got healed.
You see?
Yes. And I normally say I am a student of authenticity. I got my healing from being authentic, because we are used to a lot of fake life. I'm just smiling and I'm crumbling inside. So people have had so much of that that they think it's okay. It's not okay.
It's not okay. Fake life is the worst.
Yes. Yeah, because we are living in times when mental health is really on the rise, and then you'll hear somebody committed suicide. You're like, what?
How?
I was with her in a party last week. Meanwhile, she was already dead, but just there with you.
Yeah.
So I believe that authenticity helps people relate and see, by the way, even this is my issue, I can get help.
And now you are an emotional coach?
Yes, I'm an emotional wellness coach.
Yeah.
And so I work with people to help them find their identity, because it took me time to find my identity.
Yeah.
So I help you find your identity and work in self-awareness.
Isn't that amazing? That many times what the enemy uses to beat us, God uses to elevate us. Look, she was beaten down by life through rape, and she got insecure and low self-esteem and identity crisis. But look at this. This is what now she's using, the platform she's using to raise other people up and tell them you don't have to die in that quagmire. Woo! And then God blessed you, and this is what we're going to bring to you next. Oh my gosh. Hold it right there.
Apparently, we were in the same church. So she was there moving up and down and laughing.
Yeah.
So I remember I had very clear voice. That is your wife. I was like,
Hey.
yes, very clear.
That is your wife.
That is your wife.
Hey.
I ignored.
Hey. Like, this is just my own thinking.
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
I already decided.
I already said I don't want to marry again. I'll raise my number of grace.
So, as people were now parting after condoling with my brother, people are being allocated drivers or people to take them home.
Yeah.
So I said, God, if it is you, let me take her. Because I've come with a car and she lives along the way where I stay.
Yeah.
So come and see.
Eh?
She's not a company.